Hello there folks, I'm here in Nottingham at Mantic HQ with the legend himself, Mr. Ronnie Renton.
Legend it is.
Legend it is. Ronnie, we've come down here, myself and James, we've sort of played a few demo games. A rare trip for us to the Lead Belts.
Yes, the Lead Belt, as it's now known, because the Times newspaper now features my beautiful face.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm famous. Very famous. Even more lately.
Yes.
So yeah, Lead Belt. I think, obviously no one makes anything in lead anymore, but
I was going to say, we've seen your production facility. You don't have any lead.
No.
Do you do any metal casting at all anymore?
No, not anymore. We've still got the machines, and maybe once or twice a year we try and run them, but we are trying very much not to have any
metal.
And then we've not done lead for 20 years. It's been pewter, tin, but we don't run them. We're trying very much to move away. I think, you probably may have seen our 12 3D printers that we're doing. So
yes,
we are moving with the times.
Yes.
A bunch of Luddites.
For a bunch of Luddites.
We are slowly but being dragged into the 21st century.
So we were here a year ago, back in 2024. It was at the beginning of Epic Warpath. Is that the name right?
Campaign, Epic Warpath.
We were here just before the Kickstarter. We got to play a demo game with some basic cardboard. Yeah, and it was just worth saying for anyone that missed it. It's almost entirely injection molded plastic, and it's like a 10 mil, 12 mil.
Yeah, exactly. So firstly, you haven't missed it. We use Kickstarter in one of two ways. If we do a board game, Assassin's Creed's coming up, Worms last year.
Yeah.
These are. We come to the Kickstarter because it gives us a massive audience. It allows us to find all those people that love Worms, that love Umbrella Academy, that love Hellboy, and those are not necessarily Mantic Toy Soldier fans. In fact, very often, some of the Mantic Toy Soldier fans like that IP, but most are ambivalent about it. Yeah. So Kickstarter allows us to go to everybody and go, hey, if you love Worms, come on over here. Yeah. And we've built a retail game. We then go, right, what would I like to do? I like a 5 and 6 player. I'd like tons of Worms. I'd like loads of fun. Great, let's make that. Assassin's Creed, I want every single timeline. That is a kind of one and done. We do a big print run. You get the big boxed game, gets followed up with a retail version, so the Worms, big and small. Here you are. They're one, and then we've got a beautiful game that's been tooled and been written and been worked through. We've got a happy licensor because they've seen their product handled nicely. Those are kind of misses. When we do it for a Mantic IP or for a miniatures game, but predominantly those are our own, in actual fact, we're going out to our hardcore fans saying, help us get this. Help us make this happen. So with that money you get from those backers, you then put that into the tooling. Absolutely, and what we do is we take the tooling money, we take the writing money, we can lay it all out. And when we're doing a new Kings of War range now, okay, that goes straight out through trade. We talk to, there's a big audience for that. Yeah. When we're trying to get something new going, we can do a nice video, we can explain what we're trying to do. And 12 months later, we've done it, and these are, go have a look at the site, extraordinarily beautiful sprues. The game written by Alessio is just stunning. It's fast, it's good fun. It kind of harks back to some of the games we've past, and then brings it all up into a brand new. So it's just a joy. And I don't know what it is, but as we get older, we want our miniatures to be smaller. I don't know if because of the detail or to the classes. Well, but, this is not a recruited product. This is not a Halo for 14-year-old boys. This is a 40-year-old, should know better, proper, joyous. A game for grognards. Yeah, a game for grognards. But it is one of the things I like about this is it's a modern confident sprue. Everything is really crammed in here. Yeah. There's a lot of infantry on here and vehicle. But if you see kind of early experiments with people, and then when they start injection molded plastic, there's loads of space everywhere. There's not a lot. This has not got a spare inch where you could have crammed another 10 mil figure in. It's absolutely full. And yet still really stylized. It's like injection molded plastic. And you can see what it is. There's the vermin. There's the Asterians. They're there. They've done it. It's beautiful. So so that's when you were here. So Epic's coming. The joy is it's coming. Kickstarter's delivery is throughout August. So the reason this wall is now 6 foot further forward is behind that we have about 2,100 boxed armies, and we didn't run out of places to store them. Yeah, we had a look at, one of your guys took us to the resin production plant just up the road, or the bungalow as they call it, and he's shown us the scale upon which they're having to produce some of the small number of resin pieces that go alongside the main release.
like 2,000 of the drop ships and so forth, and every one of them hand poured.
Hand poured, hand picked. Yeah. People come to me when they arrive there, they say, Ronnie, why is resin so expensive? And then I take them round and we show them how we make master molds. We 3D print, we make master molds. Master molds go into production molds. Handmade silicon production molds.
Which have been hand cut by a guy for each.
And each one is cut.
Yeah.
Each one goes up there. It runs 50 times, if we're lucky, and it goes in a bin.
Yeah.
Every single thing that's poured in, every figure is taken out, put into a bag with exactly the right mixture. Any of it breaks, goes in the bin. Can't recast it, can't remold it, can't remetal it, goes in the bin. Then we put it bring it down here, put it in a box, send it around the world. And at the end of it, people walk away going, I can't believe resins are cheap. When you actually see the process.
If you see the process, I get so much kind of respect for the artisanship of it. So I was speaking to one of your guys down there, Marlon.
Yeah, Mason.
Mason, apologies if you're watching this. And there's the thermometer right in front, and and he was saying it's like, so at this kind of temperature, if I was making this mold, I'd need to degas it for about 14.5 seconds twice. And I was like, there's no book for this. There's no table, because that's knowing the humidity. That all of these things are unique to your environment.
That's probably casting 100,000 Armada ships over the last 5 years.
Yeah. But each mold is going to be slightly different within that, based upon the temperature.
Get all the air bubbles out.
And it was really impressive to when you see it being done. You gain a lot of respect for it, and you can see why it's expensive.
Well, we do it as cheap as we can, but it is a hand cast, hand poured, artisan cottage industry. Yeah. People want it. We want it to be good, and we just have to make it.
And those silicon molds only last for about 50 runs.
Yeah, if you're lucky.
30. 30 often,
30's par, 50's a good run.
Yeah.
If you get a nasty one, 20.
Right.
So then you've got 5 models in that, so 100 models, chuck in a bin target.
Yeah. And it's very manpower intensive by some skilled people, or at least knowledge. They've got to know this stuff. They've got to learn it on the job.
And is it good enough quality to go in a bin now?
Yeah.
So it's
so that's resin.
But that's resin. That's epic. It's coming to a retail store near you now, up for pre-order.
And there'll be a big 2-player starter set that people.
Big 2-player starter set. First 4 armies are coming out. The first 2 in there, so Enforcers, Forge Fathers, your Asterians, your Plague. And then we've got 4 more coming a bit down the line, which will have a few months with everyone just getting theirs, all the backers getting sorted out. Don't want to overwhelm. So pick 4, others a few months down. But very exciting. We're going to be doing an STL campaign as well. So if you don't buy soldiers anymore, you print them. We're going to actually open that up. It's going to be.
So you're going to give the 3D designs that you built the models from,
and you can go print them. I mean, already in the previous campaign, people could pick the upgrades as an STL file instead of us casting the resin. You can go home and print it.
So if you don't want a resin cast, you saw the plastic sprues, and Epic is mostly injection molded plastic. There's
so
a handful of things that
correct. So that is 80%. That is about 70% of your army
is in this injection molded plastic.
And the way we've done it is for any sprue, you get it 6 times.
Yeah.
So you're going to get 6 of each vehicle. So you get a nice big selection of stuff.
Yeah.
And then last time
like your command tank version or your big HQ vehicle, that will be in resin.
Yeah, and your super heavy. Your super heavies are being cast. These are big standout pieces. Right? Put some on the picture up here if you can get some photos off us. But that's your standout piece. But you only need one of those.
You only need one.
Yeah, so if you sold 700 armies, you need 700.
So for Mantic to injection mold that's a rather expensive.
It's probably at least 1 full sprue.
Yeah, and you'll only ever sell somebody one
for every 6 of these, and therefore your economics are working against you.
Yeah.
Secondly, once it's in resin, we then start getting carried away and go, let's convert it this way, let's convert it that way.
Right.
Whereas you need your core done, and then your fun, because that changes how you play, that changes the stats. Those are the key. Those are the key.
And that's for people that are already quite invested in the game. People are quite committed to it, and they do that. That's Epic Warpath.
That's not what we were going to talk about.
That's not even what we were going to talk about today. The big news this year. Well, from my perspective as a punter, was looking at what are the 2 big things going on at the moment. So the back end of last year, I think you got Halo came out. Is that right?
Yes.
Halo, and there's now
we launched the story at Adepticon and Salute March 24.
March 24.
But then there's a 6-month window. We had a few months where we just said, here's the video, if you want to pre-order it, come on board. And then about August, September, we started cranking it up. We had it on a boat. It hit stores in October, November. And
plenty of time for Christmas.
Yeah, and just it's a good time to do the big thing for the year. it rolled into this year. Obviously, when you do a big game, there's a momentum. Now, interestingly, early on, it was focused around the Spartans, which started with... So,
you start with a Master Chief, right?
Yeah, exactly. Who doesn't want a Master Chief? Spartan, 2 flavours.
Upside down. There we go.
You've either got Recon. This is everything you need. 2-player starter set. I think it's 60 quid. 4 red team, 4 blue team. All the terrain, all the maps, all the dice, all the rules, everything you need to get playing. Built on the Dead Zone system, so really fast, really intuitive.
Yes.
Spartan is the next one up, but it's 8 red team, 8 blue team, an elite fire team, a double height building. This board. Now you get the map that comes in here because that actually has a demo version, which I think you played.
Yes.
And then it also has a hard cardboard, double-sided version.
If you've not played a demo of Dead Zone, the play mat that comes with it, and you said it's the same in Flashpoint, Halo Flashpoint, is quite clever. It's a full-size play mat, but on the flip side of it is a half-size play mat with all the basic rules around the outside of it. So it's like the first couple of games you play.
And all you want to do, movement, shooting, how to get in technical positions.
Play on this with a couple of figures, learn the roles, then flip it over and play the full game.
Okay.
The full game's only like 2 by 2 feet anyway, isn't it?
2 by 2 by...
By however high you can go.
6-9 inches. And suddenly that exponentially changes the gameplay because height is a big thing.
Yes.
It was built with terrain in mind.
Yes.
So, when Dead Zone was designed, you're in cover, I'm going to get 3 dice. If I get a clear shot, all of your figure and all of your space and others, I've come round a corner, I've got you, bang to rights, I get a bonus.
Yeah.
So you're not arguing over, can I see you? Yeah, I can shoot. I'm 50% in cover, no. It's written as if you're in cover.
Right.
You get
only in the instance of a perfectly clear shot is there a cover modifier.
If someone comes around with a fully automatic machine gun and you're caught in the open, in other words, I've got myself in position to get that clear shot, it's going to hurt.
So the 2 things that struck me about this that I didn't realise, because I knew it was Dead Zone under the bonnet. That mechanically it was a system that works, that's been played a lot.
10,000 times. So there's no rule that's come up that we don't have an answer for. So
because you've seen it before.
Dead's on 3rd edition.
Yeah, you've seen it all before. You've iterated the product. Yeah. So I thought it was just a reskin of Dead Zone.
Nope.
And I'm not a PlayStation person, so I was like, I kind of...
Xbox.
Xbox.
That's a really
I'm not a console person. It's probably I didn't even know it was Xbox on PlayStation. So in the first instance, I kind of let it slip me by because I already got Dead Zone, right? But I then came across some other marketing material that you guys had sent out and realised, these miniatures are huge.
Yeah.
And you just said like the 10mm miniature of the old man. I actually like a bigger miniature now. And they're more like 32mm, 35. They're 2 inches tall.
Yeah, we sculpted them because it's its own game and there was going to be a low model count. And we wanted it to be quite evocative.
And the models are not usable in another system. They're not intended to.
Just the Halo. So we printed them off at every different size and we went, it's that one feels about.
Let's go for the big one.
Because then the bigger, the infantry is smaller, but that's the nice. And so at each figure, it's a 4-figure game. It's going to be a 4-figure game until about the end of the year, and then you might get up to 6 or 7, but it's essentially a low model count game, so you get beautiful detail. You can make them fantastic to paint. And actually, there's not one of us that goes, I fancy a project, I'm going to paint 4 Spartans.
Yes.
That's beyond any of us. It's a weekend.
I like 1/35th World War II miniatures now. It's a totally different painting experience, painting 5 guys that are 2 inches tall.
Yeah, and so not quite that big, but we're certainly, and it's a nice, approachable hobby project. You can add a few more, but this is never going to turn into, that version of it is never going to turn into a war game.
It's a skirmish war game. Yeah, it's not that.
And correct. And even if you go big, it'll be a skirmish war game.
So the models were different, which was interesting, much larger, and that, I think, physically, I like that about it. But the other thing was that you added lots of extra things in to make it like the video game. So James at Workshop and I played a demo game with one of your guys, Clive, I think, this morning.
Clive
showed us it, which was good of him. And so one of the first things that came up was the fact that when I shot James, he got knocked back and he was pinned against the wall.
Yeah.
I've never played Halo, so I didn't know that was a thing. But he was like, "Oh, right, okay." So you've brought things into the game, the shields.
And everyone, as soon as I say shields, everyone that's played Halo goes, "Vroom." They know the sound is going down. And did they come back? Yes, they come back. They come back one of the enemies' turn. So
you've adapted the game to make those things, including things like in a war game, there's always in a tabletop war game is like, don't go near the edge of the table because there shouldn't really be an edge, right? Whereas in this, there's a very hard defined edge and it will hurt you if you get shot into it.
Yeah.
It is a physical object, the edge.
Yeah, it's just like a wall.
Yeah,
it's like, like any wall anywhere else in the game, you get smashed into it. So we just go, so that's the end of the edge, the thingy.
And in addition to that, you have like power-ups and respawning, and so it plays...
Well, I think the biggest difference, the very biggest difference is you respawn.
Yeah.
So when I start, I've got 4, you've got 4. You kill one, you get a victory point, but my guy now heals back, it respawns just like in a computer game.
Yeah.
So, it's a training simulation, if you like. Now later on we've got a banished scenario where you don't respawn, which you change the game. But at the moment, if you play a serious war game like Dead Zone, and if you get mullered, you get 2 guys in your thingy, someone drops a grenade in there, does some serious damage, and
your game may well be over.
Yeah,
especially if that happens early in a skirmish game. If you lose hard round 2, the game is over.
And then what you're trying to do is scrap back to a draw.
Yeah.
You've kind of made a mistake, and it's going to hurt for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
I'm at 100%. You're at 75%. You've not taken a rook or a castle. If playing as a chess game, I've taken your queen and you've taken a pawn. You're in trouble.
Yeah.
This goes, hey, unlucky, bang, dead. Now, respawn, you're coming back on again. And by the way, we're setting up the respawn points can sometimes be behind, can come straight crashing
and you're back in at full health with your 2 actions.
So now all of a sudden, it's an even game at all times.
Yeah.
If you've activated that turn, you come on next turn. You don't get an extra turn for it.
Yeah.
But in other words, the game at the start of each round is perfectly balanced.
Right. Yes.
Because I've got 4, you've got 4.
Yeah.
Even when you put points in, which was the first expansion with war games, you can now start tweaking. You can add a graph hammer. Great, add some points to it. But it's still going to be, if your guy dies with the graph hammer, great, you've got the kill, but he's going to respawn, he's going to come back on. So I'm going to be at the same number of points you are at the start of each turn.
Right. Yeah.
So you get the victory point. You've got the tactical advantage of positioning yourself where you want. What you find you start doing, you think, well, actually, I'm going to run that guy out. Let's get him killed, get him off.
Because I can do it with another model on the other side.
Let him get killed now, get him the victory point, but he's going to come on full health. Not activated this turn, so he's going to come straight back on.
Yeah.
It's very quick, very fast. It's slightly abstract, which is kind of allows us to have more fun because it's a computer game, not Dead Zone.
Yeah.
Dead Zone's a real world, a real universe. We've all been there. So you can't have respawns. You can in this. So right from that point, there's a degree of fun about it.
Yeah.
It makes it very quick. When I first
and you've lent into the fact that it's a recreation of a video game. It's not a tactical war game, and it's never trying to.
It's a tactical board game, war game, but it isn't a real world. You respawn and you do that. Now over time, I think it's going to become more tactical. That's what happens. But at the starting point, and the first time you play, the first 10 times you play, it's a draft system. I've got 4, you've got 4. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, and in the little game, it did seem quite kind of like. It's about jumping each other. You turn around the corner and gunning you down. In that mini demo, we are trying to get you through very quickly. Yeah. Movement, shooting, fighting. And how do you put the odds in your favour? Get higher. Get clean shots. Make sure your brawler runs in combats. Make sure your Deadeye is in a good place to get a shot. Yeah. So we're teaching you just how to play. Yeah. But by the end of it, we're going to write out the rules now. All you're going to have to add now is new keywords. You'll just play those as they come up. Just a list in the book. You already know that optics is 7, 8 criticals and an extra dice because you played it. Okay, now you start way to fire or reroll misses. When you played that, you know the basic fire team. Right, now let's start doing equipment drops. You run across. What's the hand grenade do? Oh, look it up. Great. 2 more games, you know what hand grenades do. What does a graph hammer do? Because we've used these words that come from Dead Zone, frag means explosion, blast, everything moves out of the square. Yeah. D4 hits. After 2 or 3 games. You've not played Dead Zone out there, so it's a game where the weapons have keywords which are standardised secondary effects. So you don't need to remember that this. I don't need to look up that this is a +3 this, +3 that. You just go, that's got frag. And frag means this. Boom. Yeah. And so just very quickly after 5 games, you know what all the keywords mean. Correct. Yeah. Occasionally you go, is frag 3 dice or 4? Right. But after a while. So we're making it simple so that our objective is to make such clean, fast, fun rules that you're spending your time looking at the battlefield. Not the rule book. Not the rule book. Not the rule book. And people will be turning up for Clash of Kings in 4 weeks' time. And there are going to be 250 people with 10 different languages between them. And if they look at the rule book once again, we'll be surprised.
There will be 3
You
judges
just said
called.
Clash of Kings, so for my audience,
Yeah.
what's Clash of Kings, Ronnie?
Okay, so Kings of War, which is behind us, is our most established game.
And to most people, this is what Mantic is, right?
Right, okay.
If you know anything about Mantic, Mantic do Kings of War.
Right, and then this is Dead Zone and Halo, probably the second biggest now. So rank and flank fantasy war game set in the world of Panithor. It's been growing for 15 years now.
Yeah.
Started with our elves, dwarfs, undead dwarfs, orcs, and took it to Keystone. Anyway, quite big now. And our Clash of Kings is an annual event in the UK. There's a huge big tournament scene in the US. There's another big one in Australia. There's one over here. And it's basically an excuse for blokes to get together. Blokes and ladies, but mostly blokes. Drink beer, roll dice, move toy soldiers around.
Sounds great.
Yeah, it's great fun. So that's the Clash of Kings, hosted in Nottingham now. Great guy called Steel Food who runs it. We've got different event organisers around the world. And get together, build your army, bring a new army. We've got rum for the best painted. There's awards that these guys have all sorted out. The game's getting a plush Mind Screech this year. Just a great celebration. 2 days, they're going to play 5 games. They're going to play against people from all over the world. The rules are so clear, so crisp, that they're literally... There's no brain ache at the end of 3 games, you know, and that's what we're trying to create with all of our game systems. It's taking it. We love painting, we love collecting, but actually the social aspects. And from Worms through to Halo, you just there's no argument. We're written in such a way, you know, there's no measuring sticks in Halo. You move from cube to cube. You put it where you want it in the cube, then they respond to it. So there's real agency when you're acting. You put it in the wrong place. Oh God, he's got a clear shot now. Oh, I've given that tactical space up. But you're just making great decisions when I use my command dice. And what we're trying to create in my head has always been cinematic moments that you're seeing visually, because that's what a tabletop war game is. Can I do it better? But actually, I'm also seeing this movie playing in my head as I'm playing it.
Yeah,
I'm creating some piece of sci-fi, you know, IP.
Yeah. The square thing is interesting because on the face of it, so in Dead Zone and in Halo, therefore, you have a movement in squares, and there's only like 8 squares, 8 by 8 on the full size game, right? And vertical.
8 by 8 by 3.
8 by 8 by 3.
If you're playing a big game, 8 by 8 by 8.
On the face of it, if you look at this and you've not played the game, seen it played anything in, moving 2 squares does not have the granularity that I need. But I think one of the things that's really important, the height is a really important thing, and I keep not mentioning it, but you choose when you move still where you position your model in that square. And given that it is a true line of sight game, and being caught in the open, you are absolutely dead. Like the firepower is almost twice as effective when you're shot in the open. The positioning becomes important.
Yep.
You know, so
But there's no argument
you've got
about it.
rid of
You
the
pick-
need to have a
do
measuring
a take
tool.
back, and I put a marker to take back, and
Yeah, because you've got loads of scenery, and as soon as you have to get a measuring tool in there and quibble over a 3-inch move, you've stripped all that away, but it does still matter how you position it. I was quite negative about it until I played with it. I was like, actually, this is
we are Dr. Pepper.
This is a good system.
Yeah, we are the Pepsi Challenge. Mantic is that like,
Mantic is
how can it
Dr.
possibly be
Pepper.
on? And then you play and you go, oh shit.
Yeah.
It is.
So that's Dead Zone, Flashpoint, Halo,
Release is coming out. Banished
Yeah.
have just arrived, so they've now got goodies and Banished.
which is Halo 2, is it?
Yeah, and these are a bit later than that. This is Halo Infinite. This is the Banished, which are a group of Breakaway Covenant under Atriox. These are, you don't need to worry about it. You're only
other
in some-
factions?
He's looking black. There's a new faction coming. There's ODST coming in October. So they've just announced.
Right.
You've got things like, if you go mad and you really want to build, we actually did some hard plastic terrain that goes with the Dead Zone terrain, and you can build massive 15 layers. So, you know, people did it with Dead Zone a lot.
And this follows the same format for Dead Zone people. You have a cubular terrain system with different tile types.
Starts with card in here. You don't need anything else. But if you want to have it with hallways and this and played it, great.
And this
All
is
playable.
This is PVC.
No, that's Hips plastic. So that's,
yeah.
And there's some Halo specific tiles in there. Cardboard's brilliant, but they don't do corners. They don't do soft edges well.
Yeah.
So we've released things like the scenery set, which
And
is
are these
shit.
resin or 3D printed?
Yeah,
or?
these are plastic, hard plastic again.
Oh, right,
The
okay.
PVC, I think. Yeah, no, they're not plastic. Everything here is plastic. Everything in the Halo range, except that, is you want a Grav hammer, you want the upgraded Spartans. So it's just moving into a much deeper gaming system, but there's still only 6 codes you can buy. And there's probably 100 hours of play in there. So, if you get into Spartan, if you haven't given it a try, please give it a try, go have a look at it. You will be surprised how much fun you have.
Yeah, no, with the demo we played, I enjoyed playing it. Dead Zone last year, I've enjoyed Halo even more.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Dead Zone is a serious tactical war game.
Right.
Halo is a serious tactical war game, and you laugh when you get the 8 train going because there's so many less moving parts, but it's no less fun because of it. In some ways, it's more fun. Tuesday night, hey, should we just get a couple of games of Halo in? Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Similarly, we're having five game tournaments running all the time. They were at Gen Con last week, 3 a day. We've got some coming up because when you get into it, you know what? If I just nudge that with this, if I just do that with that, I'm just going to get that extra dice. Here's this keyword. It's all there because it's based on a gaming system.
Well, with a little bit of luck, the Deadeye guy killed my brawler in 1 shot.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Yeah.
It's quite unlikely, but it can happen.
Yeah, 1 shot, 360 no scopes are not easy, but they're happy. You get into combat, you're going down.
Yeah, there you go. So that's Halo, which is on...
Gangbusters, 4th biggest miniatures game in the whole of the US Q1 2025. That was before we launched. That's before we launched the War Games expansion. It's before we launched Banished. It's before we launched ODST. In the US, it sold, according to an ICV2 survey, more than Age of Sigmar.
Really?
Yeah, Age of Sigmar was 6th.
Big game.
Shatterpoint was 7. Halo's moved from 7th up to 4th.
Big. Have you ever been in that position?
No.
Before? Never.
So,
it's a big product.
It's particularly US-centric. That's an Xbox game. But, goodness gracious, if you haven't tried it, give it a try. It's just about to explode. It's getting bigger all the time. And it's now the 4th biggest game in North America.
So, that's Halo. A lot going on, a lot more coming. The one that caught my eye, and the one that made me think, I need to give Ronnie Ronnie an email and come and see, is I started to hear about Kings of War Champions. A couple of years back, so Kings of War is this rank and flank game. It is a game at least 100 figures, right?
Yeah, I mean this is a mega army for halflings. It's kind of got everything you need except the really bespoke stuff. You've got the Iron Pig instead of Steel Behemoth. You got 60 halfling infantry with a couple of different loads out,
and 30 cavalry.
30 cav.
And some heroes.
And you've got your heroes. Yeah. So all you need to do then is, if I want to play a bit more this way or that way. Yeah. A steam powered with chefs. All the character you need, all the core of your army, and anything. I want some aeronauts, or I want some halflings with rifles riding around on the back of a troll. If you want to add those, you just add those couple up to buff you up. But
But it is 100 figures to get started, is Kings of War. Yeah. So you released a couple of years back a kind of almost like a taster version of the game, which you called Ambush.
Yeah.
And I remember those. And this was an interesting way of looking at it, and we got some of the Ambush kicks, and we did have a little bit of a look at it. But if there was something missing from, there we go.
It's not quite that, but it's a couple of units that you can add to your army. But you could actually, it was how to play Kings of War.
Yes.
I think the most intimidating thing about Kings of War is when you see it, it's a spectacle like no other.
Yes, it's 100 plus figures.
Yes, and it looks fantastic. You get it on a nice gaming table, and also it's very playable. Yeah. When in the early days, when people were leaving Warhammer, or what's your investment? It's in my army. So we said, look, come and port it over. Come and play with us. Yeah. Come and enjoy this. We think you'll like the game, and many people did.
Yeah.
But then we realised we've got all these installed player base, and particularly post-COVID, everyone has stayed at home and finally painted that army. I finished my dwarf army, I finished my gaming table. You think, well, I'm not doing that again. Bloody hell, I'm not doing that again. And I know they were off, they were gone. There wasn't like, before that, there was a stream of people getting into it, halfway through it, buying a new army, and there's a whole ecosystem. There wasn't, everyone was playing and no one else.
Yeah.
And so we put Ambush out to kind of say, listen, start here, because it's been intimidating.
And so as a punter, I could see what you were trying to do there. So like this, so we've created a really cut back version of the game. But
it already existed as Ambush, but we weren't doing much with it.
Right, you weren't packaging it as ambush.
Correct.
It was just the minimum size of the game.
If you're playing under 1,000 points, it's an ambush type game. 1,000, 2,000 is a kind of fun, light-hearted game. More than 2,000, you're in a competitive game space.
And you produced there was a pamphlet version of the rules, which gave you the core rules for those particular units. And usually there was a monster-ish and 2 little regiments or something. And I looked at it, I thought it was good enough, and we did play test it a little bit, and it was like, this isn't really a small version of the game. This is I now know I want to play this game. It was more like a sample box, but it wasn't a very good game in and of itself.
The ambush box itself was a great way to try Kings of War as a stepping stone to play
without spending a lot of money.
Yeah,
but you definitely needed to
get a couple of units painted. Do I like this? Right, I'm going to go.
Yeah.
So it was like even the ambush set, you couldn't stop there. You would need to add a troll and a hero and another thing, which you could do in the rules, but you had to go and pick them out of the range and everything else. It wasn't even easy to play just ambush. But it was just low points of Kings of War. There was no specifics about it.
Yeah.
It was
and they were lovely introductory boxes. You're like, I like these figures, this game seems interesting, but it wasn't a game in and of itself. Yeah. So what I like the look about this, when I've seen it, which is what I'm talking, is that this is what I think ambush should have been as a punter. Yeah. And maybe you'd say, like, from a sales perspective, actually they've got a different role, maybe. But this is a slightly different game, but a whole package. So this isn't that dissimilar to the ambush box, except critically it's got a hero in it. And without a hero in it, I'm not invested in it. And
more than not a hero, it is that hero.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
he's the champion.
Yeah,
champion.
Exactly. This is so and so's warband.
Mokamura's company box. She's got a full backstory. If you have the rule book, in the rule book is all of the champions that were released on the first wave, and each one has a full backstory. So she's infuriated, come out of when the Abyss started collapsing things. So set in the world of Panathor, but here's a starting point. The two differences is you didn't get the chariot of the other one. You got infantry.
You got infantry.
The boomers, infantry.
I got the goblins, so I think I did get a chariot.
Right, okay. In the Goga's one, you get this. But what that gives you is now 4 units, one of which is a hero.
Yeah.
With her own backstory, and that's her company.
Yes.
Cool.
And there's cards in here for them, and so they're not exactly the same stats as they would be in Kings of War.
They are their own stats with this magic item, so that we've balanced all the games for you.
Exactly. And if I may, you're not just claiming that you've balanced them, because often they say, oh, these boxes are equivalent, and we've tweaked the stats. The game, James and I played this starter box today, and the armies were asymmetrical, but it was definitely balanced. Yeah. It's like, there were turns when I could have won it, and there were turns when he could have won it. Yeah. What's really interesting about these is the mechanic for these demons. Are they the Abyssals?
The Abyssals, yeah.
The Abyssals is they have a healing thing, and they heal a lot of their damage, but it's not alternating turns because you basically roll for first player every new battle round. It might mean that he doesn't get to regenerate between turns, which became massive as to whether I was going to win or lose. Yeah. So it was really interesting because he thought on turn 2, bottom of turn 2 is like, well, I've lost this. Yeah. It's like, well, we're going to roll this dice and you haven't lost it, in fact. And that was really interesting.
So that's what we did. We said now champions is 2 things.
Right.
It's a veteran's way of trying a new army.
Yes. Oh, you might like a core. Like I've
done half things. I've played it right. Yeah. I've always fancied playing Abyssals. I've always wanted to do Northern Alliance, but I can't quite get there.
Yeah.
It is a future veterans way of stepping into Kings of War.
Yeah.
Okay, so it performs 2 roles for Kings of War. Try this new army, paint the units. I enjoy painting them, but even if I don't, I'm going to start it, finish it. I've got a little thing out of it.
And these are more like the human ones. It's 40 figures. It's not 100.
No.
But it isn't 10 feet. It's not a crappy...
It's not a skirmish game. It's a rank and file battle.
Yes.
It is a rank and file
battle. And all of those things about having to manoeuvre your blocks and not clip terrain on the chart, all of those key mechanics of Kings of War and proper rank and flank games are still in this.
And painting a unit on a diorama base is a joy.
Absolutely.
And it's a joy that when you've done it, you just keep vanishing down that rabbit hole.
Oh, I have half as many figures on my Kings of War bases as would be if they were ranked up. I'm actually now I got hold of Great Escape, do a chariot, horse and cart, and I'm planning to do one. You know, is it the Legion base, and have them guarding a cart?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what that means. You start making stories up for each unit.
Yeah.
My dwarf army starts with 20, then there's 20 with a dead figure and a cool hero. Then there's a great big stone in the middle of it with a hero on top of it and troops all the way around it.
Yeah.
And you start adding it. So this introduces you to everything. There's one about Kings of War, but you can also just stop here.
Yes.
You can play champions.
Because it is a game.
Correct.
It's not a cut-down version of the game. There's loads of extra things in here. And I can't stress how much people often sell you a starter box, which is nothing like Ambush was. It's like, this is just my game with half the figures, a third of the figures. What you've done here is you've reduced the board size, you've focused on objectives, you have these extra special abilities, you've restatted all of the units. You've even got a proprietary scenery set that says you've got 3 linear pieces and 2 pieces of area terrain, and there's a system whereby these are put down on a set board size that adapt the game down to that size, making it that's the right amount of scenery for that board in a rank and flank game. We had real maneuver problems because of the amount of scenery. It was like, right, so if we played this again, I would definitely want to. I would set up, because I get to choose where to put 2 of these pieces. I would have picked to not have them there.
And so when you play the first time, you put it all down. You get the second time, you go all of a sudden. And if you think, you know, there's 2 eternal games for the Western eternal games. One is chess.
Yeah.
And one is backgammon.
Okay. I think backgammon is a bit of stretching it. It's a certain type of person that likes backgammon. Well, are you one of those people, Ronnie? You're a backgammon player.
There we are. So chess is the same army on the same terrain every single time. It's the only thing that changes your opponent.
Yeah.
Backgammon, same armies, same battlefield, but I can change my opponent and the dice.
Because you roll dice in backgammon.
Right.
Yeah. And the dice is a big deal.
And these are been played for hundreds or thousands of years.
Yeah.
What we do with champions is we're going to go, your armies are the same but different. But there's a whole load of character in here and how you use them, because your hero can issue instructions every time changes, the dice changes, the rulebook changes, everything's changeable, but it's not overwhelming.
No.
It's not too much.
No.
And if you want to get started, you can, and you can go on. Or if you just want to enjoy playing here and being here, that's equally, it is actually a game. It
definitely was, and it was its own game, and I really liked it for that. I also like the fact that because you've got the unit cards in there, meant that you weren't just straight porting them over, you had that balance thing. But they were all fairly comparable. There were units that worked differently, our different faction abilities were different, but I didn't feel like I had no idea what a unit did.
Yeah, if it's got bows and arrows, you know it's going to be. You need to get it in a position where it's behind the wall and shooting at things.
But I definitely felt that the Balisarians and the Abyssals in this start box, it's like these armies are definitely played differently, definitely. And we just played just a straight up battle. Once you start mixing objectives into that, because unlike a lot of those kind of smaller versions of games, your table is smaller, but it's still long. It's not very deep, but it is long. So there is space for flanking and manoeuvre. You're not all crammed and just forced to go straight forwards.
Yeah. No, when we did that, and the mat is designed to fit on your kitchen table.
Yes.
It's actually designed to fit.
It's not very deep, but it's still quite long.
But there's enough room, but so you're into combat, you're enacting quite quickly. There isn't a turn of moving when nothing happens, because there isn't a lot of war machines in it. So let's get into going. But securing objectives, movement, all of those things that make Kings of War such a great fluid game are all there.
And we're going to probably review this later, but again, you've got the playmat is often the thing that's missing from introductory sets, I find, and it really annoys me.
Yeah.
Is if I was that kid who had to play on a kitchen table who couldn't afford a battlefield or whatever, say, give me a paper playmat. Really, how much did it cost you if it's an introductory game?
Yeah, put it in. The terrain's
especially when you've got a proprietary size.
Yeah. So you put it in, and there you go. Now you can upgrade it to a rubber one if you're playing a lot, but you can get going with a nice paper mat, and away you go. And it's important, I think it's important, because for me, a war game, part of a war game is about the cinema of it. You know, I think that for me is
Definitely.
and I think it starts with the mat, it starts with the terrain. You know, I see people playing, sometimes they're playing on, I'm thinking, I'm not sure that's, but each to their own. But I think what you get with all the games now is they are both the perfect mix of cinema, with the dioramas, with the theories, with the quality of the miniatures we're now making, combined with the clarity and precision of the rules, means you're not arguing about the rules. There's no, I do this and you do that, then I take this away from that, then I lift my left trouser leg up and spin round on the spot 3 times and you need 7s. You know, here it is, very clear. You know, with Halo, the stat never changes. You just get more dice in your dice pool. I'm higher, 1 dice. Clear shot, 2 dice. Optics, 1 dice. Let's go.
And that's Halo. Whereas in this we do get dice modified. This is more and
more normal games, and that's where we write the game for the
audience
and for what it needs.
Yeah,
it needs got D6, but I need to buff them. I need to.
Absolutely. So that's Kings of War Champions products. I was very happy to see. The last thing is that although this isn't exactly the box one in, was the scenery in here I mentioned is also it's fixed sizes. It's designed for the size of mat and the type of game you're playing.
Yep.
You do make a terrain crate box for it, but I was looking at this one because I actually have been playing Dungeon Saga and I'd forgotten that terrain crate was also you. So while I was here, I was like, which is the right one to go with Dungeon? Is this one? Is it?
Yeah. And you know, our terrain crate range came out of when we made Dungeon Saga. In the box, you got all the 3D terrain and all the doors.
Oh, in the original one.
Yeah, Dungeon Saga, the original, and you got it all there. Yet, and we kind of couldn't stop ourselves. We put the dungeon doors out and we put the terrain out, kind of because we just do, don't you? And they sold, but of course, everyone they sold was never selling to someone who had Dungeon Saga. And what was interesting is someone did a review. He said, "I don't know. I bought everything in the range. I want to see. I don't know why they sold this because." It's in the box, and I don't need any more of it, it's enough. And I thought, oh yeah, I don't know how I did that. Well, we just did because you do. And I realised, except we're selling tons and tons of these dungeon doors. And because D&D people were coming along going, this stuff's great. Indestructible, lovely, really detailed, because we're miniature makers, everything we do is at that level.
Yes.
The Dungeon Essentials are selling.
Yeah.
So then a guy just do more of this. And he showed me his resin collection. He said, every time I drop a piece, it shatters into 1,000 parts.
In that resin, your resin isn't that heavy, is it? You use a different formula.
Yeah, correct. I don't know, this was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But what we've got is, so now you've got treasure chests, now you've got taverns, now you've got, you know, when we've leaned into it, we've done something through Dead Zone. So our terrain crate range, very, very popular. It's perfect for modelers who are making a Dragon's Lair and they want a load of treasure chest. Bump, off you go.
Yep.
If you are playing a D&D adventure and everything you start in a tavern, buy the tavern. You know, here's a Wizard's Tower, here's this, there's big sets. If you're playing a war game, you've got the war games range. Fences and
scatter terrain and stuff.
Yeah, and then we've got the whole hardcore sci-fi buildings, which we were showing you earlier, which is perfect for any sci-fi game. Also equally good if you're building a little diorama and you want the corner pieces and you don't want to start cutting up tons and tons of plasterboard or whatever else it is, you know, foam board. There you go. So a lot of it is either for high quality modelers to get to the 70% stage very quickly and then build on from there.
Yep.
And gamers to get gaming in a 3D way.
Nice. Thank you. So this is another thing that I'm going to be getting hold of today. So I've let you wax lyrical about all of your products so far that are already out and so forth. So if I'm going to travel all the way up here to Nottingham, you got to spill the beans on something, Ronnie. So what last year the big things we talked about was you had Halo and you had Epic Warpath. What have we got coming in the near future then? Yeah,
so let me run out. I mean, the things that are coming up for pre-order, obviously, Epic is on our toes. Champions came out a month or two ago.
Yes.
Epic is with backers this month, out to retail stores in September and onto STL Crowd late September and onto October. The ODST, which is the third faction for Halo, is going to be feet first into hell. So game reference, you won't understand it.
No, never played it.
Feet first into hell in October, and you can either play those as their own pure faction, or you can combine them with the Spartans.
Right.
So suddenly you're going to get one Spartan and a load of infantry, or two Spartans and a few infantry, or all infantry. So another level of just granularity for army building, so that the vets can keep going.
When do they get the tank?
Tank's coming later.
Right, even if it's just a piece of scenery.
Yeah, they don't have to play over. They're going to get new Mombasa, so they're very happy about that.
Okay.
And sentry guns. So.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
And then there's 2 big projects that are coming up on the horizon. One of which is when we did the deal to take on River Horse and their licenses. They had a license called Ghost in the Shell, which is a very famous Japanese comic. I had an ooh from the back there.
Yeah. That was James.
Yeah, so James is intrigued. So probably the granddaddy.
This is a Gundam pilot, is it?
This was where cyberpunk was invented from.
Is it? Is that old?
Yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah, this is the invention of, this is the precursor to cyberpunk. This is kind of the Lord of the Rings is to Warhammer and D&D. This is the granddaddy of it. Beautiful art book. And we've got that coming to we've got a role play system for that. And SCO's been working.
A role playing game from Mantic.
Well, we did Hellboy.
I didn't realise there was a RPG. You did several things with Hellboy, didn't you?
Yes, we did Hellboy RPG.
Okay.
And we've done this. So it suited it best.
Ghost in the Shell RPG.
Yeah.
And is it a proprietary system or is it like?
It's actually proprietary because Alessio
It's not D&D.
It's not D&D. It's not 5th Ed. We did that with Hellboy and it was perfect because actually it was all about the setting and it all kind of worked.
Yeah.
This is a bit more. You got your cybertronics and everything else. It's quite a good system. Not super crunchy. It's quite light and fun as Alessio you'd expect. But it's a labour of love for him. He loves the title. He actually had the license. It was one of the reasons that we worked.
I think
together.
it's got some real advocates. Ghost in the Shell, definitely.
Yeah. And those that love it.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to love his game. He did a beautiful Labyrinth role-play game. He's very good at leading into that space. And he loves an IP. He develops it very well. We've got Dreadball All-Stars coming.
So just before that goes on the show, because some people really care about it, what's the kind of release schedule? I mean, Alessia's writing a game for that.
So it's been written, it's kind of in submission now. When you get to Japanese sign-off submissions, sometimes the world can stand still.
So this could be 2 years.
It could be, but it's probably, we're saying a touch wood, but we think this is either Ghost of Shell is next or Dreadball All-Stars is next. And then whichever one isn't next, hopefully the other one is the next one after that.
Right.
So Assassin's Creed is now.
Yes, which you hadn't mentioned yet to them.
Oh, have I not?
No.
Damn it.
No.
So.
I was waiting for the opportunity to talk about it, to be honest, Ronnie.
Right, okay, so I've jumped ahead, I've missed a bit out. Assassin's Creed Animus is our next Kickstarter. And it is an out-and-out proper board game. We got Jack Cesar in to write it. I took ages. I've been talking to Ubisoft for 5 or 6, 7 years. And finding an IP that was up for grabs, being in a position to do it. And, when we were talking about, there just isn't a miniatures game in that IP that allows you to join the IPs. If you did Valhalla, it's a Viking fight game, and actually it's a conquest game, so that isn't a skirmish game. So, and I realised that the join was the Animus, which is where, you go back and change your own history. It means you want to recreate the timeline. And what we've done is we've called these eras, and you move through your timeline, going and doing your assassinations. And
so this is, like you said, it's not a miniatures game, it's a board game.
It's an absolute out-and-out board game.
Each player is poplaying a different
edition. From Assassin's Creed, there is 12, there's kind of 12, 14 tight lines, and you're moving your... because we couldn't stop ourselves doing some gorgeous things, but you're moving.
But the miniatures are basically just a standee for where you are on the board.
Picking up cards. And I'm not going to go into too much detail of it here because I could do a whole other interview, but there's a load of videos coming out. It's on Kickstarter. It is a proper board game, a grown-up board game. It's a games night game. And you basically spend your time doing 2 things. As in the IP, and always when we do an IP, we make sure it resonates. We talked about Halo before. Hellboy, you turn up, there's crap going on. Who are you going to fight? Who knows? Get the big Walking Dead. You didn't even want to move a figure. You were so petrified because these zombies are everywhere. We capture the fear. If you move,
you're going to start new problems.
Correct. So we try and capture it. And with this, I'm trying to do my timeline. That's what you were doing in the computer games we did here. But because it's a social interaction now, what you couldn't do in that game was play together. The whole point of a board game is you're playing together. So as you're drawing cards, they're either good for you, get them down, or bad for someone else. And there's nothing better
although you're trying to complete your own objectives, there is
absolutely screwing with them at the same time.
There is the I throw a spanner in your works. It's not a solo game experience.
Correct. It's an interactive solo game experience where you're trying to do your mission, and then If you're playing Connor, you've got the Homestead, which plays very different than Ezio, who's got Da Vinci's Inventions.
Yeah.
So each time you play it, the basic mechanics are the same. I'm playing good cards on me and bad cards on you. But how you get around your timeline or what you're good at is different for every single timeline, leaning into each era that we've played. So every title has a different vibe about it. So if you like board games, you're going to love this. If you like Assassin's Creed, you're going to love this. If you like miniatures, you might not. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. We've got Champions, we've got Epic, we've got tons for you guys. Our ability to get hold of a very big IP because that we love.
This is not a skirmish game. It's not a war game. Yeah. It's not something you made before. So you went about. You've been like had the opportunity to have an Ubisoft game as a license for a long time.
Well, yeah.
So what were the when you realised like, well, okay, the Animus is what connected it. You didn't think, yeah, but Mantic doesn't do board games. Mantic does miniatures games.
That's why we set the board games division up 3 or 4 years ago. There was a little announcement, it said Mantic board games division. Because we were having to, there were some IPs that came along. Umbrella Academy was the first. You know, Hellboy really was a dungeon crawler. But then we did the RPG. And what's happened over the last 5, 6, 7 years is we built up this network of very, very talented teams. Here's our RPG team.
Yeah.
Here's our board game team. Here's this. So all of a sudden I could go to these companies that I've been talking to for a while and go, I've been trying to force your IP into a miniatures game and I won't do it because it doesn't fit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I love your IP. I love Assassin's Creed, but I can't see a miniatures game in it. So, you know, Trying Hard did a great one, which is sculpting around on top of things. Lovely. But that's it. What we're going to do is I'm going to now get a team together. And I think it really kicked off. It really became big when we did Worms.
Yeah.
Which is a war game, because I'm shooting my worms at you and finding weapons and everything else.
Well, it was a very killy game.
Yeah, but it was also a board game. You know, you're playing it on a board.
Yeah.
The dice are for where the wind goes and how your plan goes horribly wrong. It's a whole load of belly laugh fun. It was already an interactive game. You played it with your friends. So moving into a board game was just recreating that on a tabletop. But this is I think our coming of age board game.
This feels to me as something we had a brief play test with Ron, and this is like the only copy in the UK at the moment. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
This is the pre-production version. It felt to me like a board game I could have played, like from the long stable of games companies like Avalon Hill or whatever. Yeah. It was like a game that was trying to address the setting.
Yeah.
So it has some mechanics that might not be so familiar because it's about recreating this story.
Correct. And even if you won't these mechanics in this way, configured this way, because then a couple of other layers. But once you know how to play it, you don't need to care about.
I wasn't suggesting it was unfamiliar.
Yeah, no, exactly.
But it's not let's do some fighting. I need a 6 to hit. It's not that kind of game at all.
And we didn't want it to be that if you'd never played Assassin's Creed, you didn't know how you needed to play Assassin's Creed to know it.
Right.
And even with Halo, we didn't know that. You don't play Halo, it doesn't matter. Do you like rolling some dice? Let's go. This is a game that goes, if you've got a board game crowd, if you like Assassin's Creed, you buy it, you take it to your games night, and they're going to enjoy playing it.
Yes. Just as if it was any other new board game. This is a board game with board game mechanics.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you think that over the future, you're expecting to do more in this?
I think there's probably about 6 or 8 where we will just go and pick up very big, cool IPs.
Right.
Fun IPs. So if Mantic's going to put the name to it, it's got to have rocket launchers, goblins, Spartans, tanks, but not World War II tanks, sci-fi tanks, rocket ships. It's got to be sci-fi fantasy, near future, zombies. So Walking Dead, we don't do historical war games. We can do them for fun, we can do them seriously, but we're going to take imaginative and well-developed and well-honed and beautiful IPs and bring them to a tabletop league. And I think there's not many war games to be a satisfying war game. There isn't many games out there that are satisfying war games, that have enough range, that have enough depth, have enough gangs to create enough replayability in it. Buy it, play it 3 times and then go, okay, I'm done with this. There's nowhere else to go. And that's why we have, our own Warpath universe and why we have Kings of War, so we have an outlet for our uber creativity. Hey, we should have a race that does this, this, this and this. Oh yeah, let's make it. But we can take things like Assassin's Creed, Halo, Worms, Ghost in the Shell, and bring those IPs to life in a way that only super uber fans can do.
Other thing that I wanted to just talk to you about, but because it's like a small thing that I think has become a huge thing, is the Mantic Advent Calendar. I got them this year, and they're just a fantastic gift.
Yeah.
I've got to say, I'm not trying to sell this to anyone, because as a grown man, I buy an advent calendar for my kid. There isn't one for me. This is a board game, not a completely worthless board game. It's not just trash. In the form of an advent calendar with some interesting miniatures, some lovely little bits of, assume it's this stuff, this scenery, terrain crate. I actually really enjoyed the experience. So I've had the Veermin one, I've had this one, and you've got a Worms one coming out. Is that right?
Yep.
This
Walking Dead. And a terrain one. So what we did, this is another some number of years to get from my head.
Yeah.
To get to reality. So the first year, for about 3 years, so we do the advent calendar. I used to say it in May, and when we'd run out of time, it was too complicated. Right. And then one day I said, next year we're going to launch our advent calendar.
Right.
So I think they're absolutely cool.
Yeah.
Because, my wife, we all started with chocolates when we were kids, and you were really lucky to have them back in day.
Yeah. And then one advent calendar for the whole family.
Yeah, correct. You can have half a chocolate each.
Yeah.
Then you got a chocolate each. Mm-hmm. And then my wife was going out and buying a Playmobil one and a Lego one. Yeah. And they kind of assembled, it was kind of nice, but it felt slightly unsatisfying to me. Because
you're not really a Lego person.
Well, it was a Christmas scene as well. What I wanted was a tank.
Right.
Right. So, something that I made that that went somewhere, but this was kind of a bit bitty. Anyway, but I thought it was and then I thought, well, wait a second, So Matt had made this game, it was based on a game by John Jett, who used to play at Mantic Open Nights, which was Barroom Brawl.
Right.
We didn't have 4 barroom troopers, and originally in the first spec we were just going to give you the 4 heroes from the Dungeon Saga.
Right.
I said, no, we can't do that. So we sculpted them, and then you've got the barman, and you've got the landlord, and the goblin bouncer.
The goblin bouncer.
And you've got to run across the bar, get the food back to your table.
Yeah, not fall over, not bump into anyone.
Not get in the barroom to throw you out and everything else. And so we made a lovely thing, but the joy of it is each day, you pop a door open and see what's behind it.
Yeah, and a lot of it is nice little bits of furniture, and benches and so forth, which, again, they're scattered terrain.
Yeah, it's perfect for it. And so it allowed us to do something, and we could do it because we've got the tooling. The tooling range has been done.
Because you'd already made these things for terrain crates.
Correct. So they existed.
Although the miniatures were new, presumably.
So what we did is the first year we put 4 miniatures in resin, 6 miniatures in resin. This came packed, except for the miniatures.
Right.
And we took this tray out, popped the minis in,
right,
and shrink wrapped it. And we did 1,000 of them. We thought, let's see what happens when we do 1,000 of these.
Yeah, they sold out, did they?
Yeah, we put it up on our website. I did a comedy video in July with my hat on, and there off we went. Things to learn. That following year, we then tooled the heroes for this one in plastic.
Yeah, and the one I've got, they're plastic miniatures. Right. Yeah.
And then we did the deep space pest control.
Yeah.
Sci-fi one, good fun.
With a turtle.
With a giant killer turtle in there.
Giant killer turtle, fighting ratmen.
Fighting ratmen.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like that? So Terratons in space.
And again, you've got little terminals and so forth. There's little bits of scattered terrain.
Yeah, so if you want to, if you play the game on Christmas Day, people are now buying it, opening every day at Christmas, sometimes painting it as they go.
I've seen several people painting these sets.
And then on Christmas Day, after Christmas lunch, right, let's play it.
Yeah.
And as a game experience, but then all that terrain, all those minis, you've just got that sci-fi terrain, that fantasy terrain.
And if we're being brutally honest, it's a game that's worth playing once.
Yeah.
And not worrying about the fact that you then, the board is somewhere part of the box, I seem to remember. Yeah, there we go, that's the actual
30 odd quid, that was the board.
Yeah.
Now in some of the later ones in the Deep Space, you've got a mat, you've got this. And you play it once or twice. But you've had, believe you me, and I did it myself the first year, I opened each door, and I thought, is it a satisfying experience?
And I enjoyed it.
I did too. And you thought, it's a little treat for us. And then each year you go, right.
So you've done a new one?
So we went to Worms, we had all these great sculpts that came from the Kickstarter. Mm-hmm. So what you've got in that is, if you bought the Worms board game, here's all the minis you don't have.
Oh,
But if you haven't played the Worms board game, here's a 2-player version of the Worms board game, so you can actually just play a whole game. I think it's 4-player, 2 or 4.
Right, so it's like a cut-down version of this.
Yes.
In the advent calendar.
Yeah.
Right.
So
And is
you've
that
got
what came out last year, or comes out next?
No, it's coming out. If you backed it in the Kickstarter, it's coming in September. But we purposefully have ordered 2 times that, and I'm sure you'll see me with a stupid Christmas hat on very soon. Going time to order it. Each time we do it, we learn something about the cadence because you only get one chance. You can't talk about Christmas before the end of Halloween.
Right.
If it's not in the stores 4 weeks before that, it's too late.
Right.
So how do we talk about it without? So you're just finding this cadence of how we need to get it. Because I think this is great fun. This year, and then you've got a Walking Dead one, so yours is a bit more. Worms are a lot of fun. Walking Dead, beautiful miniatures, a little single solo player adventure where the zombies are coming at you and you're trying to go out and get supplies.
Okay.
So again, a gameplay, great introduction. So just really good fun, lovely gift for someone who likes Walking Dead. Here you are. Who likes Worms? Here you are. You're going to get a game experience out of it. You're going to get the joy of opening it every day. Next year, I hope to do 2 more. We're just in conversations about which ones we're going to do. So we'll add 2 more to it.
Fantastic.
And hopefully the pattern is each year. Right? What's my Mantic Advent calendar this year?
Yeah. Well, that's really good to know you plan to do it because I've enjoyed the ones I've had.
Yeah.
And I definitely will want to get some more.
You know, you go back and buy the other. You know what? You know who'd love that? Bob would love one of those.
Yeah.
You know, I get the Ballroom Brawl for him because they're just going to be perennial. We'll get up to 10 titles, you know, and then scroll through. Okay, this year you can't get Ballroom Brawl, but we have got this. And I think it'd be just great fun. It's a pattern. We'll do one new one every year for as long as I'm in charge. Right. So that you've always got a new one to unpack. And I think that just the joy of picking it, and always the plan is, and at the end of it, you've got something that has some use. You know, minis to get you going.
Even if it doesn't, I just enjoyed that. And looking at the little tables, because in this one there's like little goblets and things as well. They're lovely little knick-knacks.
And they just go in your bits box.
And they just go in your bits box, but they are a pleasure to behold.
Yeah, they are.
In my
zombies,
experience.
Who doesn't need some zombies for whatever game you're going to... Oh, I've got some zombies. So it has an enduring value as well as the joy of unpacking it and playing it on Christmas Day.
Well, Ronnie, we've taken up a great deal of your time. I don't know whether you've got any products that you haven't told us about.
Just one secret.
Is there a secret you can share?
Dreadball All-Stars.
Dreadball All-Stars.
So Dreadball was a huge game for us 10 years ago. It was the second game on Kickstarter, our first real one. It was a sports game set in the future. So if Blood Bowl is the fantasy sports game,
this is a sci-fi.
Sci-fi, but what's different beyond sci-fi and fantasy? It was quick. Yeah, it was very fast. It was quite an enclosed space. You played in 40 minutes. The rushes were there. And people loved it. It was probably the only Kickstarter I regret was Dreadball Extreme. Because Dreadball was doing so well, what it needed was another 4 teams after 6 months, another year later, some more teams. Dreadball Extreme could come out. And instead, I did it on Kickstarter because I was kind of addicted to the crack cocaine that it was at that time. And so suddenly you had nothing for 18 months, and then a great big box of stuff had arrived, and you stopped playing.
Right, so you weren't feeding the appetite.
Correct.
You delayed
Dreadball 1, it was all 3. And then they released, and I said, let's do them all. And they got season 4, 5, and 6. By the time they arrived, the scene had stopped. My mistake. And since then, we've never been
relaunching it.
Dreadball All-Stars, so Dreadball is the game that they play in the Warpath universe on Saturday nights. And that one was all about the team. The Dwarf team played against the Orc and Goblin team, played against the Asterian team. And it was a team-based game, and the defining team was the alien race or whatever else it was. What we've done is we've called it the All-Stars, and they've got the best dwarf player. And they're themed by, this is a heavy industrial corporation because everything's run by.
So this is an orc, an elf, and a goblin walk into a bar. That is your team.
Correct. Yeah.
Right.
Well, probably the dwarves on that one, but yes, we've got.
So for people that have already got it, there's a reason to look at this again because it's
totally,
quite
and it's different, and it is a different game because it's because it's like Champions to Ambush, probably in the way that Ambush was straight down the line. I'm dwarfs, you're orcs.
Yeah.
This one is. It's a bit more flamboyant. This single hero, you're going to play with him quite a lot. You're going to find different things that you can do. It's a bit more fast. It's the Saturday night Super Bowl version of Dreadball. It's the one that sits right on the...
It's the Harlem Globetrotters rather than the best of the basketball team.
Yeah, I think when you're playing, you'll be like, no, I'm actually going to... It's the Knicks versus the LA Lakers. When you're playing, it gets deep down and dirty real quick. But you're playing with named characters rather than dwarfs.
Right, yes.
Yeah. You've this corporation going that way. This is super fast. This one's tough and enduring. This one's this and that. But there's a very, very big reveal coming that might get a lot of people very excited about that one. So watch this space. We've got I'm not going to say any more because you'll guess it.
Is that because you have access to franchises? There are some real people going to be put into Dreadball?
Yeah.
Or some real superheroes or whatever?
Not that. But there's a big reveal coming, watch it. So that's going to be one of our next Kickstarters. So it's either goes to the shell, Dreadball, or Dreadball, and then it goes to the shell. But big, fun, laugh out loud, while being competitive game.
Fantastic.
It's beautiful. The gang we put together is mind-blowing.
A lot to look forward to. All right, Ronnie, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure, thanks for
coming.
Thank
you guys for watching.
Bye-bye.